All right, man, back. You're gonna have the same exact clamp here. I've got my scissor half clamped up, and I'm at 30 degrees on this. We'll see how quickly it burrs up, but that's where I want to be. These are decent. The metal quality is decent enough here where you can go 30 or even 35 on these, but you'll find that most of them are going to be sitting at 20, 25, something like that. So 30 is probably even going to be a stretch for most of them. I've already worked my ride line. All I did was just use a pink stone and, take a little bit of time with a pink stone, flat rectangular pink stone, and make sure I just burnished up that inside edge again. I didn't need much because it was smooth already, but just cleaned it up a little bit from the inside first. Got a nice even ride line. Uh, this is going to be 500 grit. I'm hoping this is going to show up. The burr's going to show up. See how many passes this takes. About right here is where I'm going to start because okay, I'm just barely getting touch, and it is micro burn there, so it's probably really close to a 30. I actually got a little too up on that tip. I'm going to go back and just, alright, I don't know if that tip's cleaned up or not. Yep, tip's good. I've got a good micro burr going all the way across this thing. I took off just as much as I needed to get what I was looking for. Let's look at this under magnification real quick. You can see here, well, hold on. You can see there, that burr is just a nice clean burr. Micro burr, man. I got it as small as I could all the way through, and then my I've got a good solid if I can get this light to reflect properly off of this thing. I got a good solid bevel on the inside. It gets a little bit wider up there towards the tip, which is going to happen if you're not convexing, but it wasn't much, and that has more to do with me coming up to a 30. This thing was probably actually only at a 25, but that's going to become a problem later on down the road if you're not convexing. It's just part of just doing a bevel only on a scissor as it wears. But anyway, you can see that I've got a nice burr going, and that's the main point that I was trying to make there. Nice even micro burr. Let me see if I can get the camera right again. Yeah. And now we'll move on to removing that and how I go about that. The way I go about my hold on, let me get a better angle here. All right. The way I would go about deburring, I mean, I could go to a felt belt or something if I wanted to on this, but it's just not necessary. That little bitty old micro burr is going to take almost nothing to take off. I just push it out and away with a microfiber towel, and then I pull it back in towards me with a microfiber towel, and then I pinch the top surface there, and that's going to remove pretty much any burr that's there. And then the last thing I'll do at times, if I want to go a little further with it, so I've got a leather strap or belt mounted up here, and I'll just physically take it and do a drag through with my scissor half, and I know that I've got all my burr off of there now. So anywho, I'm gonna move on to the other side and then reassemble, and we'll go from there. All right, let me get back over here and see if we can see this burr coming up. I didn't actually go back and watch this video yet, so I don't know if you're actually seeing it burr up or not. That's why I took the time to come back and show it to you under magnification. And I am not burning up as quickly back here as I did on the other one. There it is, barely. Okay, micro burr, and we're going to be nice and easy. Just keep that a continuous little micro burr all the way up to the tip. And actually, you can tell that it's been sharpened at a different angle from about here on out, because it's taking it a minute to bring up a burr. In fact, I'm going to get back to some water and cool this half off just a little bit, just to make sure. I mean, it may not be hot. In fact, I can touch it tomorrow if it's not, but I don't want to take any chances on burning that tip at all. You know, I've changed the coloration on it, and it's taken more than a really light pass, so being real careful on that. Yeah, the tip of this is way off, bro. So I'm gonna have to keep on going until I get that squared up. But I'm gonna cool it off every time with my little. I got one. I don't know if you can see this or not, but I got this little Miracle-Gro sprayer. You don't have to squeeze it. It's battery powered. So you just hit it, and it sprays until you let go of the button. So it's pretty cool little giddy up. Alright, back to pad. Still not there, bro. Still not there. Building up just a little bit of heat, not uncomfortable at all on my arm, not even barely feel it on my arm. And a little bit of spray with the water there, and we're nice and cold again. And I'm starting from the back only to keep a contiguous scratch pattern all the way down. But back here, I'm barely touching. I'm not taking any material off anymore. I've already got a micro burr, and so I'm not worried about the burr back there. The only place I'm worried about the burr is out here at the tip, where I'm trying to get it to come on up. Still not there. I don't want to round that tip off. I want that tip to be straight as can be. Still not quite there. Somebody really rolled this thing. And that happens whenever you're, of course, I'm sure you already kind of know this, but on a flat hone, it happens when you get out here towards the end and you pick up like this and you increase this angle. That's what rolls that tip off. So somebody definitely had a hold of this one at some point. Got me out of whack. Still not micro burn all the way to the edge. Finally. Yep. Alright, we're micro burred all the way up. I'm going to hit it one more time just to make sure. That's not very much material removal, but a lot of effort to get that where I want it to be, and for this blade to stay straight out there instead of having this rounded look to it. That's just not what we want. Same thing, I'm going to pull the burr off, out, away from me, and then I'm going to push the burr back in towards me, and I'm going to kind of pull it through the microfiber, and then we'll go back to my leather up here, and we'll do a pull through on that, and now we'll go and we'll reassemble, and move on to the test cutting part of it. Super long couple videos for a simple procedure, but I didn't want to skip anything, man. I wanted you to see what I'm doing on both sides and how I go about it, and maybe help with some diagnostic stuff if I don't know how far into that stuff you are either. But anyway, okay, so now we're going back together with our nut side of this hoodoo jig here, and we know it's going to assemble properly because we've already handled that part. Bell washer in place. Give me my little spring washer, clicker plate washer, whatever you want to call it. We're going to tighten her on down. I don't generally like to close them down the first time until I go in through a piece of paper. So we'll get back over here. And we'll, oh crap, we'll run it through some dry paper towel first to make sure that any burr that we've got there we've removed. So here we go. And of course, if I feel any catch whatsoever on this, I'm not going to push it through. Smooth as a baby's ass. Now, had I caught anywhere in there, what I would have done is I'd have come in here and I'd have pushed the outer blade away from the inner blade and closed them completely without touching them together, and then come back and held them together at that point and forced them open from the outside to push off any little bit of burr that might have been there. But we didn't have to have that problem. And now on wet paper towel, dude, it's just absolutely effortless. And that's where that's where we wanted to be. It's effortless on wet paper towel. Go all the way through and it just falls through. So that's what we're looking for on that. And then we can go around the other which way here. We can grab some false hair for the where are we at where I can see what we're doing. Okay, this really doesn't have a whole lot of length left on it, but you'll be able to see right there a really good spot for we can try to do our little cut test, and it's just gonna, that hair is just gonna fall off all the way to the tips, no problem. And that's what we're looking for, man, where they can do their little artwork with this thing. Anyway, I don't know how much of that information you already know and you didn't really need, but I kind of went through all of it, man. Hope that helps, man.